Here comes Clark. How will she go for history? There it is! The all-time leading scorer in women's college basketball.
Clark from the logo! Nailed it! She gets it out of that left hand, and it's money.
A deep one. You back? Trying to redirect a pass. Clark. Oh my!
Clark, can she answer? Of course.
You better be careful. There might be another one coming right here.
Ducharme has good size.
Clark steps into a deep three.
A long three by Clark.
Every league eventually reaches a moment that reveals what it truly values. It is never about choosing one athlete over another or favoring one team above the rest. It is about deciding whether safety and comfort matter more than growth. The NBA faced this reality with Magic Johnson and Larry Bird, then again with Michael Jordan, and later with LeBron James. Each era caught the league off guard, and each era forced progress anyway. That same tension now stands directly in front of the WNBA, and there is no simple path around it. Leagues often act as if growth is something they can control step by step. They set policies, finalize schedules, sign deals, and move money carefully. On the music surface, everything appears organized, but real momentum never follows a plan. Music, it comes from pressure building faster than the system can respond. Often it begins with one player drawing attention at a pace the league did not anticipate. That is not a music mistake by the athlete, it is the league being tested. History shows that most leagues hesitate in these moments instead of adjusting immediately. That pattern showed music up early with Larry Bird. When Magic and Bird arrived, the NBA was not thriving. Ratings were low. Games were not even shown live in many markets. Music, the league lacked a strong national identity. What those two brought went beyond talent. They created a storyline. Fans were no longer just watching games. They were choosing sides, following rivalries, and becoming music, part of something bigger than statistics. The league did not fully grasp the moment at first, and executives quietly worried about imbalance and favoritism. Front offices grew uneasy. There was real concern that attention was leaning too heavily toward a small group of stars, and some fans echoed that fear.
Larry Bird follows his own shot. Oh, what a play!
He wanted to be the Wizard of Oz. He wanted to intimidate people and keep them at bay.
But the truth was clear. Trying to keep everything perfectly equal had already proven ineffective. That approach did not create energy, and it did not build momentum. When Michael Jordan entered the league, the NBA believed it was more prepared than before. Still, it underestimated what was coming. Jordan was not only dominant on the court, he captured public attention. He changed viewing habits, reshaped music, how brands connected with athletes, and pushed the media to cover the league in an entirely new way. His influence also made leadership uneasy. People openly music questioned whether the league's identity was narrowing to one name. The same doubts followed soon after. What happens when he steps music away? What about the rest of the league? These concerns were not unique to that time. They appear whenever a league grows faster music than its structure can support. The answer eventually became clear. Jordan did not limit the league's reach, he expanded it. The problem is that leagues rarely recognize music this while they are living through it. Stars do not create imbalance. They reveal weaknesses that already exist. When one player raises ratings, fills arenas, and dominates attention, it is not a sign of failure. It is a sign that the foundation needs strengthening. The NBA did not grow by silencing its biggest names. It grew when it learned how to support music, them without losing the broader vision. That lesson came slowly, with plenty music of tension along the way.
You know, you want to be fast like Isaiah, shoot like Bird, rebound like Barkley, pass like Magic, be dominant like Shaq. But man, I wanted to be like...
Now consider the present moment. The WNBA is no longer chasing relevance. Music, it is managing rapid growth. Audiences are increasing, coverage is expanding, sponsorship money is moving faster. And one player has naturally become the center of that surge, not by asking for music hit and not because the league planned it, but because fans responded. Discomfort in sports, rarely music, comes from success. It comes from misalignment. Right now, the WNBA is facing multiple pressures at the same time. The audience is growing. Media coverage is changing music quickly. Financial systems are being tested. Labor discussions are active. Public attention is shifting. Any one of these would challenge a league on its own. Together, they music create real strain. When one player becomes the focal point during a moment like this, friction is unavoidable. Not because the player music is the problem, but because the system has not fully adapted. That is where resistance music begins. Every league follows a similar pattern. First comes doubt, then concerns about sustainability, followed by debates over music, fairness and balance. Eventually, acceptance arrives once growth proves impossible to slow. The NBA experienced this cycle. The NFL did as well. So did major soccer music leagues during their superstar eras. The WNBA is no exception. It is simply earlier in that process. Caitlin Clark did not create the league's growing pains. She accelerated them. She compressed years of attention into a short period, forcing decisions to happen faster than expected. That speed often feels chaotic. Stars do not wait for systems to be ready. They arrive when they arrive. The real question is not whether a league should slow momentum. It is whether the league can adapt fast enough to meet it. One of the most important lessons the NBA learned had little music to do with the game itself. It was about storytelling. Fans do not build deep connections with leagues. They connect music with people. The NBA did not become global by being neutral or generic. It grew because fans followed players across eras, teams, and rivalries, from Magic to Jordan, from Jordan to Kobe, from Kobe to LeBron. Each transition felt risky music at the time. Each one expanded the league's reach. This moment is not about one player receiving too much attention. It is about whether a league chooses to embrace star-driven stories or resist them, whether it builds structure around attention music or tries to spread it thin, whether growth is treated as something to control or something to guide. Those choices rarely appear in headlines. They show up in policy, marketing, scheduling, and media strategy. Music, and they quietly shape the future far more than any single season. Here is where many people misunderstand the moment. When growth feels messy, music, it is usually a sign that it is real. Leagues that remain quiet and comfortable are not expanding. Music leagues that are rising become